All right, this one's about human torso found inside an apartment in the Bronx, right? I'm going to break this down. I'm going to let you know what cognitive behavior therapy is, and we're going to work with the youth with this. Sit back, subscribe while the intro is being played, and hit the like button. Let's get this thing started because right now I'm ready to rock and roll, man. Happy Sunday! All right, Unique Mecca Audio here, man. We're going to talk about Sheldon Johnson charged with the murder of Colin Small and concealment of human parts. Picture that. Now, where we're going to go with this is, I want to say today is Sunday, man, and I got this bright New York background because this young man you see on the screen to the left of me was lurking and moving amongst us in society, and he had psychological issues. Now, I'm going to break down. He was on Joe Rogan, right? And he was on Joe Rogan. He was speaking on his case. After this situation, I went back and looked at it. My man Jay told me, oh, Joe Rogan is doing real big on the YouTube. I didn't even know who Joe Rogan is. No disrespect to Joe Rogan. But I went back and looked at him after seeing that he was interviewed on it, and he only used 15 minutes of an interview with Sheldon Johnson. So I already know now that, Sheldon crashed, that Joe Rogan is going to put the rest of the video out. But what I want you to understand is when we go to prison, right, they don't give a crap about rehabilitation. Let's get that right. I'm going to go, let the gunshots to that. They don't give a crap about rehabilitation. I'm in the prison. I'm taking courses after courses after courses after courses, and I go to unit team, and they tell me that's going to help me get to a lower security prison where they got better programming so I can further my education. But every time I go up for my unit team hearing, they'll tell me some crap like, oh, you allegedly stabbed 2 police in Lewisburg. You went to 88 for 5 years. You had introduction to narcotics when you first came in the prison system. You got these phone charges. You got caught with 6 knives in Lewisburg. I mean, you was transferred from this prison, that prison for investigation of selling narcotics. And these are all the stuff they telling me. And I'm like, but what about my programming? And they're like, yeah, but what you did in the past supersede anything you do in the present or the future. I said, so where is rehabilitation in that? And I didn't let it discourage me. I continued to do what I do, and I continue to take programs. But now while I'm taking these programs, then you got brothers that didn't have such a flavored past, as they call it, as mines. They go up and they go to unit team, and they took 2 programs. They took, referee, in recreation, and, basketball rules in recreation. 2 programs that's not going to help them in society, and they get sent to a medium. And I'm sitting there, I got criminal thinking, I got criminal behavior, I got parenting, I got CBT. CBT, by the way, means cognitive behavior therapy. I'm going to break down what that means. But I got all these real programs under my belt, and they telling me because of what happened in my flavored past and, me letting my anger get the best of me and my anxiety and everything else that was kicking in, that, none of that means nothing, But a man that took a course on how to be a referee, that means something to them. You see the imbalance there, So I didn't pay it no mind because I was really trying to rehabilitate myself, so I wasn't really on trying to, just take courses to get to a medium, It took me 20 years to get to a medium. And I got over 150 program awards and certificates for programming in the Federal Bureau of Prison. And it took me 20 years to get there when a man take 2 courses, one on referee and one on how to play basketball, the rules of basketball, and he goes to a medium, and I got 150 courses and they give me a hard time because of what I did in the past. That's why I respect my judge. Let me do a little ride. All right. Now, my judge, right? When I put in my First Step Act that Donald Trump signed it, round of applause to Donald Trump for all you haters. All right, relax. I said relax, man, let me finish. Now, I gave him a round of applause because, all these presidents and everybody, Joe Biden is the one who signed in the crack bill, him and Bill Clinton with like 100 and something, new crime provisions, to bury us more in prison, while the white collar crime, his cronies was getting away with murder. These guys sat here and they robbed billions and billions of dollars. We made a couple of million, and we're doing life and they're getting probation. But that's the way the law is set up. If y'all didn't hear it, I'm telling you here first, because this is what it said. This is Sunday sermon. Do you know, and Google it, do you know, go to YouTube on it, because it ain't Google no more. YouTube done took over. Minister Louis Farrakhan is supporting Donald Trump's run for president. Did you hear what I just said? Minister Louis Farrakhan is supporting Donald Trump's run for president. Go to YouTube and check out the interviews that he's doing. See, y'all don't understand. Y'all get caught up in what you thought a president should be by what they put on the screen in front of you. How do we have what's happening in Haiti and our president, who's supposed to be the police of the world, is turning a blind eye to it? They're not even reporting it on the news. Our brothers and sisters and babies is in Haiti right now under siege. And the president is not even looking at it, much less mentioning it. Instead, he's talking about Ukraine and, Palestine and Israel and, all this stuff dealing with their kind. But when it comes to our kind, where you have 4,000 criminals broke out of jail and running wild in the country, that's like back in the jungle days when there was no law. The police is under siege. They done took over police stations in Haiti. Where is our government that's supposed to be the police of the world at? And y'all sitting here on YouTube looking to see, what next lawsuit did he got? What next allegation did he got? Diddy hasn't even been charged with a crime, but he's one of us, so you already know we're going to condemn him just from the allegation. But that's how twisted that is. But let me ride back to Sheldon. Now, Sheldon Johnson, he took a couple of programs. I heard him on Joe Rogan talking about the programs that he took. I even wrote it down. He took a couple, what are the programs he took? Sheldon Johnson, a criminal justice activist, and he worked in the Queens Public Defender Office. He took some courses on conflict resolution, but it seemed like he didn't take any mental health training. We all have mental trauma. I have mental trauma. We all have it. And the first thing we have to do is admit to ourselves. When I used to go to the psych, I used to go to the psychiatrist's office every day in the penitentiary for about 3 years, right? And every day I go there, they ask me, why do you come here? You know what I mean? Wait for us to put you on a call out. I said, wait for you to put me on a call out. I'm telling you that I'm having psychological issues because I'm having cold sweats at night. I can't sleep. I'm having violent thoughts and I want to better myself. So I'm coming to you for help. They said there's nothing we could do. I said, okay, well, what courses do you have when someone go ahead and, not saying I'm going to do it, Mr. or Mrs. Psychiatrist, but if someone stabs the police and they say, oh, but you did stab the police, I said, well, I wasn't charged with it. That's an institutional charge. They said, okay, but if you want to say that, okay, well, if I go stab a police right now, what training would you give me? And they say, oh, we have this, we have that. Okay, well, give it to me. I would like to take a self-help training on how to better myself to not go out and stab a police in the compound in the prison, you know? And they looked at me like I was crazy, you know? And I tell them, you're looking at me like that because I am crazy. And I'm trying to get right, and you're not understanding that I'm coming to you for help. True story, what I'm telling you. These people telling me, wait for them to put me on the call out, and I'm telling them I'm having cold sweats at night. I'm 60 years old. I've been home 4 years. I'm still having cold sweats at night. I'm still having racing thoughts, but because of a course that I took in the prison called CBT, called Cognitive Behavior Therapy, I was able to control my racing thoughts. But when I rest at night, as y'all call sleep at night, these racing thoughts is out of control. I'm resting, I can't control it, so I start to sweat. I change 3 t-shirts a night, at least, because I'm having cold sweats from my psychological trauma from, being shot 4 times, having to jump off a 6-story building, witnessing people getting shot, walking over dead bodies, you understand, watching people OD, watching pit bulls having fights, to the death on the streets of New York and Virginia and up and down the East Coast, everywhere I went. And all my friends think this is normal to watch a dog eat another dog alive. A lot of y'all watching this think that that's normal. A lot of y'all, like when Michael Vick, got in trouble for having the dogs. Everybody said, oh, well, they're making a big thing about dogs. They're only dogs. That's where my mentality was at. But once I got empathy, then I had sympathy for the dog that was being eaten alive, that lost. I've seen dudes take dogs that they raise for puppies. Imagine this. You raise a dog from a puppy. You know what I mean? I know people that even got the dog 6 weeks old where it was still sucking on its mother's breast, and they went and got a baby bottle and fed that dog from 6 weeks old until it grew up 10 months old. Now the dog is big and strong. They got the dog walking through the neighborhood with these big chains on their neck with weights on their neck and their chest big and brawly, and they training them to fight. They got them hanging off of ropes hanging from street lights, from buildings, from fire escapes, and the dog have to sit there holding on to it to make his jaws tight so that when he lock onto another animal that he could rip them apart. But that's normal to us. You don't see the psychological effect that can have on a human, much as a child watching his parent raise a dog to fight to the death. I'm just giving you this as a little example. Now, so here we go. The dog goes to have a fight. The dog loses, and he's half dead. Done got chopped up. Dog, the other pit bull locked onto his neck, and he's half dead laying on the ground. I know dudes that'll walk over the dog and just shoot the dog in the head right there after the fight is over and say, man, I'm not carrying that bitch home. She lost. You know what I mean? But we thought that was normal. And we laughed, and we said, which one is the next dog's fighting? Bring him in. You know what I mean? And we just watched the man murder a dog. Then I've even watched dudes sit there and take their dog that lost, that they raised, feeding from a bottle at 6 weeks old, and just throw him in the alley and leave him there because he lost. And that's normal to us. Well, that was normal to me. Now I have empathy for that dog. That dog did what it had to do. They put the dogs together and they get them angry. You know what I mean? The dog is a pet. But they put them together with the dog, they fight and they get them angry, and then they start tearing each other apart. And we used to sit there and watch this and enjoy this as sport. The same way back in the Roman days, how they had gladiators going out there fighting to the death for the king and queen. They had kings from different, arenas come in and bring their biggest, brawliest black fighters in to fight to the death. And the women is cheering for a man to kill each other. And that was the norm. Y'all still think it's the norm. Oh, that was in the Roman days. But we having that going on right now today. Here goes Sheldon Johnson. Let's ride. Here goes Sheldon Johnson, right? Sheldon Johnson, he took a couple of courses in prison, and no disrespect to him, because like I said, we don't disrespect anyone here, but these are facts, right? These are facts. Not his facts, but these are facts. I know a lot of people in jail that manipulated the system to get out. Then when they got out, they manipulated everyone around them because they was programmed to manipulate their way through life instead of navigating their way through life. Y'all pay attention to these Jews. This is Sunday morning sermon. They're manipulating their way through life. This man comes home and he gets a job in the Queen's Public Defender's Office, and he's an activist. He's working with the youth, and he's doing everything right. And then, the psychological trauma that he went through throughout his life, he allegedly snapped, and they catch him going in and out of an apartment wearing disguises. He even put on a wig, a female wig, at one point, and he's carrying a bin that they said allegedly had a torso in it, or had a human head and a leg in it, whatever it had in it. But the point is, we as humans, we have to learn empathy. Empathy is putting yourself in the next person's shoes. Before you rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public trolls, get your Twitter fingers working, Have some empathy for the person you're trolling. What did they go through? Do you think you could walk a step in my shoes and survive and still be sane enough to say you want to help another human being? Or would you snap like Sheldon Johnson allegedly did? Cognitive behavior therapy, right? Let me tell you what that is. We ride, right? A little educational course for this Sunday sermon. Cognitive behavior therapy, right? Let me read the definition of it so y'all can see what it is. Cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, is a type of psychotherapy. It may help you to change unhelpful or unhealthy ways of thinking, feeling, and behaving. CBT uses practical self-help strategies. These are designed to immediately improve your quality of life. CBT can be an effective way to treat depression and anxiety. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what I learned. You know what I mean? What I learned. I'm no better than the next man. And like I said, my phone number is on the screen, 917-680-9091. What I learned from my cognitive behavior therapy class was they used to write lines on it. Okay, so let me give you an example. All right, I'm gonna use a prison one, then I'm gonna use a street one, so y'all can understand. I feel like riding today. All right, now we in prison. I'm standing up waiting on the phone, right, and I'm there for an hour waiting because it's a line. There's a number of people before me. Because there's always, that's where the most stabbings, murders, and fights happens, over the phone and TV. I'm waiting on the phone. I'm waiting an hour. And after an hour, I'm getting a little old. My prostate kick in. Now I got to go to the bathroom, right? So I tell the dude in front of me, yo, homie, if anybody come, let him know I'll be right back. I'm going to run to the bathroom. You know what I mean? He said, I got you. I go to the bathroom, and by the time I go, my man is already on the phone, and I come back, and now yard recall come in, and there's a new line on the phone, and the next phone open up, and I go right and get on that phone. When I go get on that phone, the dudes that just came in from outside say, yo, what are you doing? There's a line. Look, we just came in. And I'm like trying to explain to nah, I was already in here. I went to go use the bathroom. They're like, nah, you wasn't here when we got in. And now they want to argue over it. And the dude that I asked to tell whoever came in that I'll be right back, he's on the phone in his own conversation, and now he's arguing with his family, or he's enjoying the conversation with his family, and he's not even paying what's taking place over here any line. So dude said, nah, you get into the back of the line. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to no back of the line. So now, a fight break out, and we both get to stabbing each other, and we both in the hole, And we rewind this now. So now, this is how it could have played out. This is where the cognitive behavior therapy come in. So now, dude come in from the joint, and I come in come back from using the bathroom, and I go get the phone, and dude say, yo, what are you doing? There was a line over here, you know? Now, I have to be able to stop and say, why is he approaching me like this? Why is he being aggressive? All this got to be done in a split second. That's what CBT is. I got to be able to analyze and say, weigh out the pros and cons, Not that, oh, he trying me. He think I'm a bitch. I mean, He trying to rough off the phone from me. That's where us with trauma in our lives would take it, because we have unhealthy thoughts, So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to let him play me. Instead, I got to also analyze the positive side of it and say, okay, well, really quick in my mind now, well, maybe he just came in and he didn't see because I went to the bathroom. He wasn't here before, none of them was there, and they recall that quick, boom, 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 and I run it all back, and I tell him, ooh, pause. And I say, family, I was here. I went to go get my thing. He'll let you know that's on the phone, and then I go wave my hand, because you don't touch another man in prison. I wave my hand by his face while he on the phone, whether whatever he doing, because now I'm trying to diffuse the situation and say, yo, homie, and then he'll look back and he'll just point the dude and tell him, yeah, he was next. And it could have diffused that way. Instead, I fed into the argument because I didn't have CBT training. And now we both stabbed each other, we both in a hole, and we both leaking. Whatever it is that you're going through, always know that you have to put yourself in the next person's shoes, which equals empathy, meaning wondering why this person is reacting in the way they're reacting. A lot of times we got to think for these crash dummies. Gunshots to the crash dummies. We got to think for the crash dummies because, they're so traumatized that they think everyone is trying to get over, everyone is trying to take advantage of them, and then they react like they react. You understand? So now, if we don't think for them, we fall victim to them. And I don't want you to fall victim to the next person, so that's why I'm giving you these jewels. Now, I don't know what happened with Sheldon Johnson. Like I said, I don't badmouth nobody here. This channel is just to uplift and enlighten our people, to give you motivation and complete understanding of what it is that we going through as a people and why we here today. In prison, right, they called me verbally aggressive, is what the psychiatrist labeled me. They said I'm verbally aggressive. You see the way I talk on YouTube, aggressive, they call that verbal aggression. You can have verbal abuse. I never knew you could have verbal abuse. Verbal abuse, right? Let me give you one. Verbal abuse is, I got a homie, right? He grew up with his mother. His father was a cold gangster. You know what I mean? Father was laid back, but his father was a cold gangster, cold killer, but he was laid back, and he took a wife, that was aggressive. You know what I mean? That didn't go for nothing because she kept the balance in him. So this, is where it got tricky. I want to put this in the right way so y'all could understand. So she used to always, yell when she speaks. Yo, get over here, get the remote. You know what I mean? Come sit down and eat. You know what I mean? Come in from playing. And everything she did was yelling. What time you going to school? When she could have said, what time are you going to school? But she's yelling, what time you going to school? So she caused this man, my friend, emotional abuse. She emotionally and verbally abused him because she was aggressive. Now, I meet dude, and I'm talking to him, and you know me, I talk, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting ready to, and he jumps back, and we in prison. I'm like, yo, what's wrong, homie? And he's like, no. And as time went on, and he told me about his upbringing and his mother and how she treated him, that made perfect sense why he was so gunshot. You know what I mean? He was gunshot, Any little noise, he jumped because he was emotionally turmoiled from his mother's abuse, her verbal abuse, her emotional abuse. And he took that over into his adulthood. Now, he kept everything in because he was never taught back against his mother. So now he gets in an argument when he was younger. And when he gets in an argument, he gets mad and he takes a hammer and he beats another child in the head with this hammer. and cracked his skull. He's a child, you know? And he went to court, and the court dropped the charges down to something else, and then they put him on probation and never treated that trauma. He held everything in till he couldn't hold it in no more. Somebody pushed him, hit a trigger, and that trigger caused the hammer, boop, to bust dude in the head. And here he sits in prison. Where do we go from here? When are we going to give therapy to our people? When are we going to stop labeling therapy as taboo in our community when in other communities, you know, a child hit another child in the head with a hammer, they take him to 100 different psychiatrists and try and get his head right. Put him on 100 different medications, try and get him his right. But instead we say, oh, tell the child, oh, don't take the medication, don't take the medication, don't do this, don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't go to therapy, you don't need to do that. You know what I mean? He was just wilding. You know what I mean? It just happened. It would never happen again. And the child goes through it, and here it is 10, 20 years later, and now he has a fight, you know what I mean, and gets in an argument with somebody, and he pulls a gun out or a knife out, shoot dude in his face, stab him in his face, whatever, all because no one never treated that psychological trauma that he went through, or that emotional abuse or verbal abuse, because that was the norm. How many of you parents out there, especially females, right? Whenever you talk to your child, you yell at them when you tell them to do something. Get over here. Go put this up. Bring that over here. How many of you don't even tell your child you love them? How many of you don't even kiss your child? And then now that child grows up into adulthood, never being told he loved, never been hugged, and never been kissed by the one that loved him. And then here comes a woman come and tell him, I love you. And he's looking at you like, you crazy, love me. My mama never told me she loved me. I know she loved me, but she ain't never, we don't do that. You know what I mean? Or something happened and they want to give you a hug and be like, whoa, you know, what are you doing? Push back. Go read the book of Ruin Harlem, man. I spoke about that in Ruin Harlem, right? Let me give you a little scene from a Ruin Harlem real quick. I might start doing chapters of Ruin Harlem on here. But it was a joint where, you know, after I got shot up, I was in the hospital. I got wet up 4 times, had to jump off the roof. I'm in the hospital. I leave the hospital. I go back to the herb gates. I'm in the herb gates, and while I'm in the herb gates, you know what I mean, the cab driver, he leave to go you know, do something with me. We leave the nurse at the crib. When we he winds up finding out how old I was from, you know, being in my circumference, my exact age. I was like 13 at the time, so he comes back, right? So now when he comes back, he says, you know, to the nurse, yo, can you believe he's only 13? And she's like, oh my God. And she jumped up running. She went to hug me. And when she went to hug me, I pulled my gun out on her and told her, back up. What you doing? She's like, no, I just want to, you know, love you and let you know everything is all right. I'm like, bitch, ain't nothing in this world love me but this pistol in my hand. Ain't no love in my life but this pistol in my hand. Only thing protect me in life is this pistol in my hand. Don't you ever in your life tell me you love me. Everybody that told me they love me crossed me. Everyone that told me they love me crossed me. So how do I take you as a stranger telling me you love me other than you're trying to plot and manipulate your way in to try and bring me harm? Do you see how screwed up I am? See, I know this. That's why I'm still trying to get help. Me talking to y'all on this YouTube is my form of therapy. For me to just talk about it and that instead of keeping it built up. And I'm not ashamed of none of that. I'm not ashamed of none of that. A sucker would be ashamed of where he came from. He's supposed to be ashamed of who he is today because you're supposed to learn from where you came from yesterday so today you could be a better person so you could offer better things to the world, your family, and your loved ones in the future. Did you understand what I just said, or this is too much for you? But like I said, here goes a young man that, you know, may have manipulated, talking about Sheldon Johnson, may have manipulated his way through the system, manipulated his way, you know, through the criminal justice system and got the job working for the Queen's office, you know. Not saying this is what happened, so you rat bastards Get up out of here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. All right, you already know what to do. Take that with you on the way out. Oh, man. You know what I mean? I despise a rat. You know what I mean? Because, you know, and you know what's crazy? And, you know, I mean, and not even just not a rat. Let me say, if a person just say, yo, I told I couldn't take it, I'm cool. All right, I know how to deal with you. Stay over there. You know what I mean? But, you know, a rat bastard is someone that would try and manipulate you to believe that there's something other than a rat. That's a rat bastard. So you understand. A person, for whatever reason, whether they want to call themselves a civilian or they just couldn't do the time and they decide to tell, that's on you. I don't agree with that. That's not where I'm at, but I'm not the one to judge you. I'm not the one to judge you. But let me know that, yo, I couldn't do the time I told. That's what happened. You know? Let me see. Hold up, man. I do answer this phone, man. Yo, what's up? I'm doing a video right now. What's up, family? Who this? So you're being recorded just to let you know, because we don't do no rat bastard shit over here. What's up?
This is Boston, man. Greatness. You check out my contents. What's up?
Yeah. I just told you I'm doing video. You asked me about your goddamn content. My nigga, what is up? You want to talk about the video, know what I'm talking about, or you want to call me back later and talk about your content? Let's keep this 100.
I'm gonna check out what you're doing right now, man.
All right. Well, what I'm talking about right now, if you want to give your opinion on it, because this is going to be aired today, we talking about Sheldon Johnson that's allegedly charged with the human torso and foot and head and all this in the refrigerator, and you know him having psychological problems that was never addressed and came out, you know, into society and wound up being charged with this horrendous crime. Right, that's what we're talking about. So I'm talking about how we don't get psychological issues that we have. Like I used an example earlier in the video about how we watch pit bulls and we raise pit bulls to fight each other. Then when the pit bull that we raised from a 6-week-old puppy, feeding it from a bottle, lose a fight, we just leave it in the alley after it lost because we disappointed in it and he ain't no more good, or we shoot him in the head. You understand?
I understand everything you're saying, man. Listen, you made good contents. I was listening last night to your enemy, and I didn't know he was your enemy, that piece of shit.
Nah, I don't say those type of people name on my show. I don't give them the energy. They have no content, so they use my name to create content. So we're not even going to speak on that on my show. We're not going to say his name, and we're not going to go there, because we have good content here, and maybe he'll learn how to move as a man.
Right about that. You right.
As a man. You understand? So I'm not going to sit here and feed into, you know, that foolery over there. See, I'm doing so good on YouTube that they got to use my name. So instead of trying to contact me, my number's on the screen. Anyone, you just call me. I don't even know you. You just called me all the way from Boston. I answer the phone. So any rat bastard that got a problem with me could just call me and we could deal with it as men. We're not going to go back and forth on the keyboard. You know what I mean?
That's my man Mecca. That's my boy Mecca, man. Yeah, man. Listen, you do what you gotta do. I'm gonna listen to what you're saying right now. We'll get back to me a little later on.
All right, that's what I'm saying. All right, let me hit you back.
I got things handled up here in Beantown, man. I control everything up here, especially downtown.
All right. Well, handle your business, fam. But like I said, always leave a rat bastard to himself, because he's gonna cause his own demise, or someone that don't have cognitive behavior therapy, aka CBT, to wind up flat the top. Bam, 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 bam. All right.
Fucking bastard. Give me the shit. Give me the shooting, man.
Trust me, yo, you can't hear it because it's in the system, but I just gave him a bunch of gunshots. You know what I mean? Hey, tell him who you are and big yourself up real quick. I'm about to tap out.
This is the ghetto hustler from Beantown, Boston, coming to you live on a Sunday afternoon.
All right.
Make it morning, afternoon. I don't care what day it is, but I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right, that's what it is. I'll hit you in a minute, family. You see what I'm saying? That's how you handle a rat bastard. They want to make videos and hide, and my number's on the screen. Don't be scared, my nigga. Call me. My number's on the screen. Anyone could call me. If you disagree with anything that I say on Unique Mecca Audio's platform, my number is on the screen so we could discuss it as men. We don't need to do the keyboard gangster, because I'm not trying to wind up, like Sheldon Johnson. I don't want nobody's head in a basket. You understand? I don't even want my head in a basket. So I don't feed into these things because I know what real life brings. Rat bastards, they think that everyone is a coward like them and gonna play the cowardly YouTube games. Come on, my nigga. Do I look like a coward on YouTube, nigga? Stop it. Stop it. You know what I mean? But make sure you cop the book Aurora in Harlem. It's on the screen. You can get it at the aurorainharlem.com. The same name as the book.com. You can order the book, Amazon, whatever. My Cash App is on the screen. Call me Reverend Ike, whatever you want to call me. I just gave y'all enough jewels that's priceless to save your damn life. If you can't understand that warrants a donation to save your life, you know what I mean? Then you already know you might be the next one in the white suit. All right, let's go.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this.
Real.
Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the road men.